So here's our second principle on how to deal with stressful and challenging times. I was watching a sermon yesterday morning. Me and my family had communion with Kevin Peterson, the pastor at Glendive Assembly of God in Glendive, Montana. And he was preaching a sermon out of Judges. Judges can be one of those difficult or challenging reads. Actually, let me read a small part out of this for you. The angel of the Lord went up from Gilgad to Bochum and said, I brought you up out of Egypt and led you into the land I swore to give to your ancestors. I said, I will never break my covenant with you, and you shall not make a covenant with the people of this land. But you shall break down their altars. You have disobeyed me. Why have you done this? And I've also said, I will not drive them out before you. They will become traps for you, and their gods will become snares for you. Sometimes it's a difficult read, especially when we get into some of the informative historical stuff. But what Kevin was preaching out of here was the fact that we often come to the Lord during the difficult and challenging times when we need Him. But as soon as life gets good, we begin to stray and become disobedient and don't have a relationship with Him. Principle number 2 is all about maintenance and maintaining our relationship with God, maintaining some abiding time on a regular daily basis so that I know Him and He knows me, so that we have a regular relationship. Our motorhome out there, I can tell you, I know that motorhome better than the manufacturer. Now, the manufacturer is the one who put it together, but the manufacturer doesn't know the history. The manufacturer doesn't know the things that have broken and been repaired. He doesn't know how I drive it or what conditions I drive it. So he knows about how it's created, but I know more about that motorhome than he does. I can tell you, I know the engine, I know how it runs, I know when the last oil change was done, I know the maintenance on when I got new tires on it, the whole undercarriage. I can tell you what wires run where and how everything works in there. Because even during the good times, I'm always keeping an eye out on things. During our time out on the road, that motorhome has never failed us, except once when we had a blowout, and immediately I got new tires. It was very easy because of the regular maintenance. When one thing broke down, it was easy to replace it and change it. Now, one of the things that I also have, one of my favorite tools and toys, is a small OBD2 reader, a little different than just sending me a code to know what's going on. This gives me a lot of information and numbers about what's going on inside the engine. It tells me how many volts is going to the TPS sensor. It tells me what the temperature my catalytic converter is reading at. It gives me long-term fuel trim, short-term fuel trim, and a plethora of different information. Now, if anybody else was to look at the numbers that this is putting out, they wouldn't understand it. It might scare them. It's easy to get into something like Judges and be scared, not know fully what it says, or misunderstand. As Kevin preached on this, his primary point was that it's easy to come to God, to follow Jesus during the stressful times, but not during the good times. There's many antidotal verses out there that many people know. They're the little pill-type verses that's easy to give us hope in the midst of stressful circumstances. And they're good, don't get me wrong. But what is better is regular maintenance, regularly maintaining a relationship with God through His book, studying what those numbers mean, studying the verses that normally we might just pass over because we don't fully comprehend or understand. You see, when it comes to dealing with stress, If I maintain my relationship with God through His Word on a regular daily basis, if I am praying and engaging in good, wholesome, abiding time, when the stressful times come, they're not that stressful. What if we never maintained our teeth at home on a daily basis, and we depended only on when something broke down to go to the dentist? We're going to live with a nasty mouth. The doctor may not be able to fix it, and if he is, it's going to cost us a lot of money. Daily maintenance is a lot more important than just getting things fixed when they break down. Crises, stress, and challenges can come up in a lot of different situations. It can be a job loss. It can be loss of a friend or family. It can be a financial hit. It can be the pandemic. It can be just about anything. And these are what we call the catalyst to stress. But the catalyst to stress doesn't mean that I have to be incredibly stressed. I can tell you this, when I maintain a daily, regular relationship with God the Father, like brushing my teeth on a regular daily basis, when the catalysts come that provide the stressful situation, my stress is already significantly reduced. The same catalyst does not have the same impact if I'm maintaining my relationship with God during the good times. So how to deal with stress during difficult times? First was the balloon principle. Remember the balloon principle, that most of that pressure is due to the stress around you, and don't misattribute the intensity of the emotion with the event that triggered it or the behavior that triggered it. Number two, how to deal with stressful situations. Maintain your relationship with God on a regular daily basis. Study His Word. Find out what it means. Make sure that your tool case is well prepared before the catalyst hits. Now, it seems like I've got a little bit of maintenance to do on this lawnmower. This grass here tells me that it wasn't well maintained last year or cleaned up before the winter hit. God bless you all. Have a great day.